Welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today. We are going to unpack a topic that is literally the lifeblood of international business. Yet honestly, it's something that trips up even the most seasoned entrepreneurs out there. We're talking about sustainable, successful expansion across borders. I mean, how do businesses actually pull it off? How do they leave their cozy, local bubble and step onto the world stage without, completely losing their shirts in the process? Well, the secret isn't just having an amazing product. Actually, it's about finding the exact right people to buy or sell that product with. So, get comfortable and let's decode the architecture of global growth. Okay, let's dive into this. How do you find a trusted business partner in a sea of global competitors? This right here is the absolute core dilemma of global expansion. Think about it for a second. Entering unknown international markets is incredibly intimidating. It is fraught with risk. There's this massive, glaring disconnect between a local business ready to export and a foreign buyer looking for quality goods. You are essentially trying to navigate a vast ocean of competitors, fake profiles, unreliable suppliers, and huge cultural barriers. Going in blind, yeah, that's practically a recipe for disaster. You really need a way to filter out all that noise and find someone you can actually trust with the future of your business. Section 1. The bridge, the power of matchmaking. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we're talking about. Just look at this visual metaphor from Trade and Investment Bangladesh, or TNIB, which we'll be using as our primary case study today to really understand how this whole process works. Notice that firm handshake right across the globe, literally bridging the gap between factories, logistics, and international waters. TNIB positions their entire model as this exact bridge. Their motto up at the top pretty much says it all, right? We connect, you grow, together we succeed. Professional matchmaking isn't just about shooting off a few cold emails. It's about building the strategic infrastructure that connects two entirely separate landmasses, local sellers and global buyers. So to really ground us, let's look at this definition pulled straight from our source material. Buyer-seller matchmaking is the act of connecting reliable buyers and trusted sellers worldwide to build strong partnerships, explore new markets, and grow businesses globally. Honestly, I want you to think of this almost like finding a verified life partner, but for your business's international future. It's highly curated, it requires deep, on-the-ground market insight, and a real understanding of who is genuinely reliable. Because you aren't just looking for a quick, single transaction, you are looking to build strong, lasting, profitable partnerships. So the crucial point is, why use a professional matchmaking service instead of, just hopping on a search engine and hoping for the best? Well, look at the specific guarantees TNIB provides in their framework here. An extensive global network means they already have the Rolodex that you are desperately trying to build from scratch. But I'd argue the most important bullet point here is the second one, verified and trusted partners. Contrast that level of safety against the immense, terrifying risks of wiring money to an unverified overseas supplier or shipping literal containers of goods to a buyer who might just default. A professional firm provides a tailored business match, acting as this critical safety net that allows you to confidently expand your markets and boost your sales. All right, moving right along to Section 2, the infrastructure, building a match-ready business. Now, every reliable bridge needs a strong foundation, right? You can't just show up out of nowhere and expect to be instantly matched with a premium global buyer. You have to be prepared. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how TNIB reframes what a consulting firm actually does to get a business ready. Notice how the categories on the left, like business consultancy, IT services, digital marketing, and specialized services, map directly to specific actions on the right. They don't just offer these IT and marketing services as some random generic menu. No, these are absolute prerequisites for becoming what they call a match-ready business on the global stage. Think about it. If a firm is going to introduce you to a massive buyer in Canada or Malaysia, your business absolutely needs to look the part. You need professional website development and SEO from their IT tier, you need Google Ads and social media marketing from their digital tier, and you certainly need the commercial due diligence and market research from their specialized tier. Basically, you got to build the house before you invite the guests inside. Let's move to and see how this builds a highly logical client journey. Step 1 is business mentorship and strategy. You always start by figuring out your export support needs, locking down your product positioning, and dialing in your branding. Then, Step 2, digital platform development and SEO. This is where you translate that brilliant strategy into a professional online presence. That way, when a foreign buyer searches for you, they find a highly credible institution. And only then do you reach Step 3, tailored buyer-seller matchmaking. This sequence is absolutely key because it proves you cannot successfully match without first establishing a rock-solid digital presence and a sound underlying strategy. It just doesn't work out of order. Section 3, the crossing, real-world proof. Okay, so we've covered the theory and we've broken down the infrastructure, but the real question is, does this bridge actually hold weight? Well, here's the real-world proof. Listen to this client feedback from Mustafizur Rahman, the founder and CEO of Canbaz Inc. over in Canada. He specifically points out TNIB's strategic insight, their market understanding, and their hands-on support. Notice that this isn't just someone saying, hey, they handed me a phone number. No, this CEO is actively highlighting the deep ethical practice and quality execution required to actually strengthen engagement with businesses in Bangladesh. It's incredibly powerful social proof that this comprehensive, hands-on matchmaking model actually works. And just to reinforce that, here is a second perspective, also from Canada, Rahar Landscaping Inc. I want you to notice the very specific phrasing they use here: understanding of cross-border business dynamics. Guys, that is exactly what makes or breaks a global deal. You're dealing with different time zones, wildly different regulatory environments, totally different business cultures. When you're acting as a matchmaking bridge, having a consultant who brings a highly responsive approach and crystal clear communication to navigate those specific dynamics, that is what adds tangible bottom-line value to the engagement. Which brings us to the core philosophy behind this entire shebang. As TNIB explicitly states in their own materials, they are more than a business consultant, because true buyer-seller matchmaking is really about committing to long-term sustainable growth. It's a fundamental commitment to strategy. It's definitely not just executing a quick, one-off transaction and then walking away. When a business integrates the mentorship, the IT, the digital marketing, and the dedicated matchmaking, they aren't just hiring a middleman for a day. They are securing a strategic partner dedicated to their continuous, long-term international expansion. So I want to leave you with this final kind of provocative thought today. If finding the exact right verified partner is the ultimate bridge to global expansion, is your business truly match ready to make that crossing today? Do you have the digital infrastructure, the thorough market research, and the strategic mentorship already in place to attract a premium global buyer? It's something every focused entrepreneur needs to seriously reflect on before taking that next big step. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer today. I highly encourage you to review your own cross-border strategies using the framework we've just decoded. Keep learning, keep optimizing, and I will see you next time.